Good evening, THL. Welcome to Salty Saturday. It is the Week 1 edition, as all of our new seasons are just getting kicked off here, and I'm Donde, former Hearthstone enthusiast, joined by Dano, who seems to still be enjoying this game. Dano, how are you doing tonight?
Yeah, doing real well. Doing real well. Spell Mage is just, kind of saving the day. It's just absolutely too much fun. And it's just the right kind of good where it's not too good where you feel bad, but it's good enough where you win games. So, okay, good job.
I tell you what, I would love to
And my
make my
son is
opponents
done with
feel
his
bad
dinner.
right now.
So,
That is okay. Well, I'm glad you're having a good time. For those who didn't check out the video from last night, the VOD is up, of course, on YouTube and Twitch. You're welcome to check that out. I was playing on stream, and let's just say that the final game got a little hectic, and it's worth watching to see my sadness. You won't hear it because I wasn't on the audio, but if you watch, you just feel it. You feel it, and and you don't even have to. I mean, you just go ooh. So that's fine. So yeah, if you want something that makes you go ooh, but not in a good way, go check out the VOD from last night. But that's enough about the past. Let's talk about what's going on tonight. Because we have two awesome matches tonight. They're both in Legacy, one in the Red Conference, one in the Gold Conference. So later on this evening, we'll have Itachi of Amberflight Gaming taking on AE2 Battleship of ATL. But first up is going to be Mayanadon of DadLegend versus F. Srirachi 1 of Chaos Theory. So this is an interesting match because these are two players who are in the 3 seed, and quite frankly, Mayanadon never makes sense in the 3 seed to me, and F. Srirachi's been bombing up the charts. He was a 5 seed a few seasons ago, and now he's a 3 seed. So this is interesting. I don't know how much experience both of these players have at this seed, but it should be a fun one nonetheless.
yeah, it should be real exciting. And when I kind of saw the two players, I was like, oh, we got a 2-seed battle here. And then it's like, oh, nope, this is it. There's somehow 3 seed. Which is crazy. It should be a bunch of fun. Unfortunately for DadLegend, the series is already decided, but there is still pride and points to be had. So Mayanadon obviously looking for the win here just to kind of gain some points and not get totally swept by Chaos Theory. So
Yeah, big upset in week 1 here. A couple big upsets with Chaos Theory over DadLegend. Hot Sylph's falling to Stubbs too, the aforementioned team of mine. But yeah, it's week 1. It's still far too early to count anyone out. So yeah, points are important.
Yes.
Every match has to be played to its fullest at this point. So we're going to get the best quality because both of these players want to start 1-0. I would imagine that's usually the way it goes. So that's a preference.
And speaking of, good job, bud. And speaking of upsets, the bands are in, and
Yes,
we
they
have
are.
a double warrior band instead of a double demon hunter band. So
fans of Demon Hunters, get ready. I hope you were prepared for Illidan because you're going to get at least one game, if not more, of Illidan.
Demons.
He's definitely one of the most beloved characters in lore, and I think they did him right in Hearthstone as far as the voice acting and everything is concerned. So enjoying him on that front, even if not always playing against him. But either way, still interesting to see a double warrior ban here.
I remember the Black Temple raid. I don't remember all the healing he has. That's new. So
that is
I don't remember healing
new.
after he's almost dead, and then.
Yeah, that is an accurate assessment of how I think most people feel about the Demon Hunter class at the moment. So with that warrior band on each side, Mayanadon will have a Demon Hunter, and Rogue to deal with F. Srirachi's Demon Hunter, Druid, and Rogue. So have to assume Druid here likely to be Spell Druid. That seems to be the popular pick. Haven't seen too much of the big Druid rolling around. Rogue will be some flavor of Galakron, I would imagine, and then Demon Hunter most likely Tempo, since that's kind of the popular pick at the moment too. But we'll see if any curveballs come our way.
Oh yeah, I'll be super excited if one of them brought Highlander Demon Hunter just for the fun. Right, like, I mean, I can't imagine either of them did, but hey, who knows, right?
Well, I'm going to let the players know they're ready to go so we can jump into the action here. They are notified, so we should have Mayanadon on the bottom. F. Srirachi will be on the top once we jump into the game here.
And my wife does apologize for the crinkling bag in the background. She looked
can't even hear it.
She that's good. I turned the gain way down, but she was crinkling this bag in the background, and I look at her, And she goes, "Oh, sorry, I forgot." And then she continued to do it, and I was like, "She's not that sorry then."
You know, life outside the stream must go on, so that is understandable.
Yeah, oh, here we go. Okay.
Game is starting up, and we are jumping in here. You should see it on your screen in just a moment. Hey! Illidan times 2.
Hey, look at that.
This ends now!
Dilly.
You dare speak to me?
Did you go there?
Alright, looking at the opening hands here, I don't see anything outside of the standard tempo list.
And I tell you what, if I'm not unhappy with my opening hand.
Yeah, Mayanadon with the Battle Fiend on turn 1 here, very important to get that early minion on the play if you can, take that initiative away from your opponent, especially since this is such a quick match a lot of the time when it's these two classes against one another in a mirror.
Yep, I suppose, yeah, just gonna snap pick the 2-drop there, because why not just go ahead and pick what you want to play next?
And he's got options next turn now already with Satyr Overseer plus Twin Slice if he wants to just go ahead and start generating a wide board. With, the Demon Hunter's main way of dealing with wide boards happens to be Altruist, and we don't see that on either side at the moment, though I would be shocked if that was not in each player's deck.
Yeah.
And F. Sriracha looks like he's going to throw down Sightless Watcher of his own. He's got a couple choices here in I-Beam, Twin Slice, and Warglaze of Azzinoth. And looking at the...
Mossing over the Warglaze, but gotta be the I-Beam, I would imagine.
I-Beam seems likely to be the pick. Yes, that I think was what he ended up picking, though, we couldn't entirely see it at the end there. But that's what was highlighted on my screen.
Yeah, seems like the logic. It is, or clear a little bitty heal. It's just a really, really darn good card. And then Maya did pick up the 4-drop, which we kind of expected as well.
His weakness.
And will he double Twin Slice here to clear off the Watcher? He's going to. And he's going to force F. Sriracha to have an answer for that Overseer, which we know he does. Or will shortly, anyway.
We assume he does. We never know.
Yes, there's the idea.
And there it is, right off the top.
And as we know, it is discounted off the top of the deck as it only costs 1 in Outcast mode. This is going to be just a plain Sigil runner here. No Outcast for him, but it does allow him to at least keep a little bit of board presence, and I would imagine that he's just going to go ahead and hit the face at this point with no other option in hand.
Yeah, there he goes. And so we do notice one big thing I have noticed about both of the Illidillies here is that neither of them are golden, which means I can only assume they're both two filthy casual players.
I guarantee they both have more wins than I do on ladder with Illidan, because I haven't played a whole lot of Tempo, or a whole lot of Demon Hunter, period. I tried the OTK for a while, tried around Tempo, and yeah, I'm definitely not winning any races to 500 or 1,000 anytime soon, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, me either. It is definitely one of those classes that I just will not get a whole lot of play on ladder on, just because I'm really just, like, it always feels bad, like, to be targeted, then you feel like, oh, I should have won, but you didn't win, and because you were favored and everything, and not a big fan of those kind of decks, so I'll imagine I'll get more experience with him as the class gets a little bit more goofier and less outstanding. So,
well, I think right now you do have a little bit more of a chance with him on ladder, considering the nerfs to Gallo Warlock, which was the hardest counter to the tempo style of the Demon Hunter. So it is a little bit more friendly in the current meta than it had been. Not like it needs to be that much more friendly, I suppose, but you don't see too many of those Galacron Warlocks anymore kicking around on ladder. Meanwhile, Mayanadon doesn't have a lot in hand, but he's got a lot of board presence compared to F. Sriracha, and that Skull of Gul'dan is just sitting in the middle of the hand and not active yet.
It's not probably exactly how F. Sriracha wanted his Metamorphosis, but shutting off a 6/4 is not a bad thing. So
Well, you gotta live.
Pyro Blast will do a Not pick there.
And now Epsirachi will have the option to Skull of Gul'dan at least.
Yep.
Alas, poor warlock.
And not the cards he's probably
All I
looking for.
see is weakness.
Curious to see if
We're with
he's all his mana up. For some reason in my head he had one mana left. I was like, ooh, what's he gonna do with this?
you. Alas, poor warlock.
A lot of free cards incoming, or at least cheap ones.
Wow. That is a really good way to play Demon Hunter. Is just a top deck card that draws you a bunch of cheap cards.
Yeah,
I
cheap
like
Metamorphosis is
Mayanadon.
rarely a bad thing, and we're going to see Chaos Strike come down as well. Raging Fell Screamer, why not? And yeah, I think if Mayanadon, at this point, you're up by so much that I don't think you really have to respect that board on Epsirachi's side, because Metamorphosis just wins you the game outright.
Yeah, lethal's in hand. Epsirachi is dead, but doesn't know it yet.
I guess the only thing that Mayanadon could have been concerned with is he playing some sort of sneaky backdoor OTK version, though there's been no indication of that whatsoever in the cards that have been played, and you just don't want to get, Kael'thas Demon, Inner Demon out of this game out of nowhere. Because 25 damage is very much a possibility with that, but yeah, not to be here, as Mayanadon's going to take game 1.
Unleash foul!
Yeah, which unfortunately would have been fun to have seen this out of nowhere.
My
OTK,
blades
just,
will sing.
surprise everybody, but well played. No chances there with the Priestess.
There's Priestess of Mayanadon's own, but not the card that we played. Metamorphosis ends it.
True power. You possess true power.
And that will wrap up game 1.
Mayanadon up 1-2 in
One.
the Illy Dilly Mirror. See if Epsirachi cues it back up again.
So knowing that he's got the Hunter and the Rogue to play into, Hunter has a couple options. Face Hunter, Dragon Hunter are the more aggressive variants, with Highlander being a possibility as well. I can see the Demon Hunter being run back here. It's also a very, very bad matchup for Rogue a lot of time against Spell Druid, so Spell Druid could be the pick as well, if it is in fact Spell.
Valera versus Illidan.
Rouge versus.
This ends now.
Watch.
Yeah, we are going to get a Rogue versus Demon Hunter, so you get to watch Illidan for another game. And looking at Epsirachi's opening hand, he's got the Battle Fiend, which is what you want to see, and that Crimson Sigil Runner's in the right spot too, over on the side of his hand. But Mayanadon
Pharaoh
has...
Cat would make me assume this is not the stealth variant.
Yeah, and we saw Dirty Tricks in hand, could be a secret variant. It's always hard to tell. And I always have to take the HS Replay stats with a grain of salt too, because a lot of the time, Secret Galakrond Secret Warlock has a very high win rate, and you probably only really know it's the Secret Galakrond version because obviously Shadow Jeweler Hanar is in that deck. And if you don't get it, don't draw it, and don't play it, it looks just like a regular Galakrond Warlock. So I think that might be depressing Galakrond Warlock's win rate and emphasizing Secret Galakrond Secret
Rogue.
Galakrond Rogue win rate.
I'm like, I'm very excited about this Secret Galakrond.
I know. Yeah,
Tell me more.
Warlock's the newest class to get secrets. Yeah, Donde's crazy, man. This is me trying to explain away my poor play with Secret Galakrond Warlock. I said again, Secret Galakrond Rogue.
I like it.
And Epsirachi takes the initiative, and he's going to just hit face, which I find a little interesting there, because now the Battle Fiend is a little bit more vulnerable to just dagger Pharaoh Cat, which, you don't want to get yourself too low as Valera, but taking care of a a Battle Fiend is pretty important here.
Yeah, I think that is definitely the play, unless...
If you'd really like to coin seal Fate to get the Battle Fiend off the field and get a full board clear, he can definitely do that. Or heck, why not use an Eviscerate? I mean, don't even need a combo.
That seems a little... Wow.
I guess it fits in the curve a little better, but yeah, it seemed like you might want that for like the 6/4 Glaive Mount Adept.
There are 6/4s that come down on turn 5 that you will want to take care of.
Yeah, Seal Fate does not handle that. Seal Fate will handle this second Battle Fiend, however.
Yes, it will.
And it will be immediately played. And a Draconic Lackey, because as we know, players who are not me don't get Witchy Lackeys.
There's no salt there, right? No salt at all. I wonder if we'll see Mayanadon with the coin here to get the Shield of Galakrond out. Galakrond into Galakrond? Yeah.
That's a pretty good card in this matchup here. Good pickup on the Kobold Lackey as well for Mayanadon to help him control the board a little bit more. He also has the rare healing for Rogue with the Ancestral Guardian. Lifesteal 4/2 for 4, I should say. Metamorphosis is just right now just going to get played, but not usable for Itachi. I don't know if maybe that was intended. I guess there really wasn't a whole lot of play out there for him because he couldn't have attacked and used either Glaive Bound, and he's not at Priestess time yet. You definitely don't want to just throw Altruist out there to die.
Yep.
So feels bad, I guess, but ultimately probably the best option that he had.
I like this play by Mayanadon here. I think this is a good use of the Kobold Lackey, keeping your taunt minion up, and
I think so too. I definitely agree. Knowing that the Metamorphosis is going to come after that 4/5 this turn, as it will. And now he's got the option of a cheap Priestess next turn. And for Mayanadon here, you know, a lot of options. Shield of Galakrond is fine. Continue to keep your presence on board, and he can now clear with Backstab plus the Goblin Lackey on the Kobold and not even have to use that 4/2's first half. I think he likes that as well.
It's almost like lackeys are really, really good.
Yes, they are. Certain ones, anyway.
Tell me more about this Witchy Lackey.
Well, I tell you, he's a card.
Okay. Are we not going to...
he could Shadow Step it.
Into it? Oh, I guess he could.
Yeah, I would say Shadow Step seems like a valuable tool in this this matchup that you don't want to just throw away.
My blades will sing.
And we're gonna see the slice get used here. The first half of it anyway.
Yeah. So we have fully cleared on the board here with the Priestess. Got play. Well, that's some good Hearthstone right there. Faces of Corruptor off the top, thank you very much. I like that Evasive Worm.
Evasive Worm looks really good in this matchup. I think that's probably the pick. Onyxia is just too slow. Single turn.
Or Onyxia with Shadow Sword. I'm just saying. Think of all the one.
Oh my god, I feel like I'm listening to Brushy Tuna all over again here.
Yeah, Evasive Worm, the obvious pick there.
Not if you're Brushy. He was like, pick Malagos. Like, dude, Malagos doesn't even offer. Pick it anyway.
I was saying, we were playing some co-op last night at like 2 in the morning, and I was playing against this real not great Warlock player, and I got Malagos offered, and I was like, you know, this person's just goofing everything up. I'm just gonna take Malagos. So I got Malagos, and I just tempoed him on 9 and had lots of fun. And it was probably a little bit of BM, but it wasn't my fault. It's the new ladder's fault. So. But yes, sometimes Malagos is just the correct play.
You fell right into my trap.
An ambush procs there for Mayanadon. He ends up with a second minion on board, and there is still an answer to it with the Glaive Bound. I guess depends on whether or not he wants to use it to clear the 5-3 or the 2-3. He's gonna go ahead.
Yeah, I would say
like
probably clear the 5-3.
I think so too. Harder. I mean, not. I guess. It's harder to target with anything but like I-beam is really it. That's all you've really got in your deck that can target it from hand.
Yeah. I don't know. Actually, the more I think about it, I don't know if I would have played that one differently. Actually.
Is this going to be a big Edwin here?
One can only hope.
I think that's what we're getting.
All of you.
I guess the question is, how big does he want to go? Like, oh, if he pulls like backstab off this lackey, he doesn't. Oh, Vendetta, but that's
Vendetta's super
it's
good.
not active yet though. He would have to Pharaoh Cat into something, but then if he does the Pharaoh Cat, then obviously Edwin is no longer active. So he's gonna roll it again. This is almost certainly an Edwin turn now.
Nothing.
I took the deadly poison over the. I guess so.
I think at this point, you're
we're
probably
going
saying to yourself,
face.
I've got huge Edwin.
what we're
Yeah, I've
doing.
got huge Edwin. This is going to hit face, and I can end this game next turn. So
Yeah.
that's 17 alone right there from hand, plus dagger, plus Edwin. And we know that there's unlikely to be any way that he takes care of this Edwin on this turn. I mean, unless he was running a one of the silence,
My blades will sing.
which is not common. Yeah, using your face there is enough.
And that'll be it.
That will be it. I was going to say, does he Galakron? But if he does that, he doesn't get a dagger. And you need the dagger to
Yeah.
use the deadly poison. It's kind of important.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Right.
And 12-12 Edwin strikes again as Mayanadon takes game dose here, as he's now up 2-0 in his quest to get this this match a little bit closer for DadLegend.
We're definitely going to see the Hunter now from Mayanadon. And what do we like here against the Spell Druid?
Well, if it's a Spell Druid, Dragon Hunter, I believe.
Oh, no,
is...
sorry. Sorry, I mean, we're like against the Hunter, not the Spell Druid. The Hunter,
Oh.
right? Because now you get a pick if you're Sriracha. So
Yes.
the hard part is Hunter is so flexible that, you target it different ways, right? Face Hunter is one thing, and Highlander's a different thing. And Dragon is something else as well. So, what do you think Mayanadon brought? Highlander, I would bet?
I mean, Highlander, it seems to be like the third pick popularity-wise, with Face and Dragon being a little bit more popular.
Highlander. Who's the smart guy?
All right, I guess you know your Mayanadon, and you know his decks, so I'll give you the
Yeah.
score on that one.
My son answered from the chair across the room when I said, "Who's the smart guy?" Dean goes, "Me."
Nice.
Yes,
It
I
runs in the
agree.
family.
I agree.
And very, very nice opening curve here for Mayanadon too. Zephrys, if he wants it, if nothing else, he can Hero Power, Hero Blazing Battle Mage next turn. But we do see Shadow Jeweler Hanar in hand for Sriracha, and we also have a secret. So there's a good chance that he can just go off, a few turns into the game here if he, can have a reasonable, clear shot on board to do so. But it's real hard. Oh, he's just gonna coin it out now and say, deal with it. It is a 1/5, so it's unlikely to be handled on just this turn alone.
Wow, I like it. Maybe I don't.
I mean, it seems like like the popular play. To be honest, I think if you have a secret in hand and you can coin out Shadow Jeweler, you do it a lot of the time, and he picks up a second secret as well. So this is interesting here. Ambush is the pick. Yeah, you don't want it to be bamboozled, and explosive trap. So nothing that can be played this turn, and he's gonna go ahead and clear the Bone Chewer.
Oh, gonna step it back into hand.
All right,
Okay.
all right. You know, this makes a lot of sense now, because the next turn he's got a possible 2 secrets, or, you know, he can hold on to it and see if maybe he can pick up something playable this upcoming turn.
And if you're Mayanadon, now I've had problems with Zephyrus giving me the secret clearing, like not giving me the 2-cost spell from Hunter lately, but because Zephyrus has been kind of weird, at least in my experience in trying to play some Hunter lately. Under Hunter, so you can't trust it to clear those secrets for you anymore.
And that's
Flare. The spell is called Flare.
Flare is what you yes, Flare is what you were looking for. The funny thing is, I knew what you were saying, but for some reason I didn't feel the need to say the word out loud. Like, I was just like, oh yeah, I got what he's saying, even though I forget that I'm casting, and like I should probably elaborate on that for, you know, not that everyone else didn't know what you meant either, but it's kind of the job.
Yeah, the part of always the hard part for me casting is that I don't actually ever learn the names of the cards. I just learn what they do and how much they cost, which is all I need. But then when I try and talk about the game, I'm like, yeah, you know, that 8-drop Paladin minion with Divine Shield that gives you a weapon. Right? Like,
it's like the name of the card would be a lot more succinct than that. just so you know.
Sure, but it's a lot of extra work, though. And I don't think you go for the Flare here. I'm not too worried about the one secret, especially with the 1-5 still in hand. Shadow Jeweler Hanar, thank you.
Right.
Still in hand.
I have a hard time separating. So Shadow Jeweler Hanar, I assume it's pronounced Hanar, of course, without any sort of pronunciation guide. But the Hanar is a race in Mass Effect, so of course every time I say it, I just think of the Hanar from Mass Effect, and it's not them. But that's just where my brain goes.
I have honestly not thought about Mass Effect in quite a while.
Well, now you have. Congratulations. You're now thinking about a very good series.
I am. I mean, I'm not complaining about it. I'm a big fan. It's a great game.
So I do like the Zixor pickup for Mayanadon, as he can go ahead and get that back into the deck. And if I know Highlander Hunter, he will draw that right on turn 8.
Yeah, that's how it's played. You know, that's if he gets a turn 8. If he doesn't get Brandon on turn 7, he's lethal, which
of
is
course,
the obvious play.
Ooh. That was quite the bamboozle right there, because now he doesn't have the... I mean, he was hoping the Zixor just died, of course. But now he's got a big taunt in the way that can clear another minion as well.
That
Shadow
is
Jeweler time.
Sometimes Hearthstone just gonna Hearthstone.
Explosive to start. Now the choice is: do you want the cheap redemption? Bamboozle could be useful as
I like
well.
the redemption.
Yeah, redemption is great, especially with the faceless.
Manipulator.
I'm sorry.
Infiltrator.
Convincing infiltrator. Yeah. See, here we are. Here we are trying to remember the card names.
Yeah, you know.
I could have just hovered over it, but if I hover over it, the stream will see me hover over it, and they'll know I cheated.
Well,
can't pick redemption again and play it this turn, but you know, if you can get it down a second time, why not? Especially with the minions you've got out there. And Esther actually looks like he's in pretty decent shape right now.
and stuff like the game. I just checked out stream and said the game sounds are a little too loud, so you might want to just turn down.
Yeah, I did tweak it again. I had it turned down because I was like, oh, these are too loud, and then apparently they were still too loud. So now hopefully it is better. No one has complained for 10 minutes or so, so I'm going to assume we did a good job.
All right, I assume so as well. And that was a very beautiful Christmas tree, by the way. One thing about the secret row, very beautiful Christmas tree.
Yes, very diverse array of secrets most of the time. And Dragon Queen Alexstrasza fits very nicely into this deck, and it's going to be the pick.
It's almost as if this deck was designed to play that card.
Yeah, I would wager that card's probably just in this deck.
Yep, I would probably say so as well.
Redemption again? Dare he go for a second in hand with the one on board? Well, the problem here is that he can no longer go off this turn with secrets if he takes it. So, yeah, Misdirection is going to be picked. Oh, man.
I like that counter spell. But he didn't have enough mana for it, so that's right.
Didn't have enough mana for it, and well, he can take it now if he would like.
There you go.
Oh, Pack Tactics is brutal if this 2/2 lives. There just might be a... Well, no, he's going to Lackey him. I'm kind of curious.
He's obviously just looking for Auctioneer to just get through his cycle through his deck a little bit quicker.
I'm gonna be honest. I kind of liked the thought of just, if you pack Tactics and you have the Convincing Infiltrator out. When does Mayanadon ever get to face after that?
Yeah.
Everything he plays is just dead. He had enough on board there to potentially clear off most of the 2/3, and like Redemption would have brought it back. He would have cleared off one of the 2/3s. Redemption would have brought it back, and then the next turn he drops Pack Tactics and another Redemption, and then you just have all of the Convincing Infiltrators.
Yes, which is always exactly how you want to play it. Ask every single priest main.
Oh yeah,
Why have 2 if you can have 5?
Yeah, exactly.
Which, it's not wrong, just frustrating.
You've never played Res Rogue before?
No, I have not.
Well, my friend, we could have experienced it tonight. Oh, Flare is a huge pickup there for Zephyrus.
And finding the Flare, apparently it works great for everybody else.
I was gonna say I'm excited about seeing it because you made me prepared for the fact that it would not work properly, and then it worked properly, and so I was excited by the prospect of a card working as intended.
Yeah, apparently I have not waited till there were enough secrets on inboard, because I guess Zephyrus cares how many secrets there are. Though I don't. If I want to get rid of that one, I don't care. Or those 2. Don't make my choice for me, Zephyrus. But I guess that's the point, right? So.
Absolutely. And meanwhile, Efsirachi still has plenty of threats on board, and Mayanadon, hand-wise, doesn't really have a whole lot in there outside of, Varanus to make it a little easier to clear the board, but that's, I guess Siamat can take a couple things off his plate next turn.
Rush Wind Fury is no problem here, right? So I said Rush Wind Fury would be a pretty good thing with Siamat. That's Siamat.
And there he goes. What's the pick? Rush, of course. And Wind Fury, also of course. So let's see if he can figure out what secrets these are. It's Pack Tactics first.
I got the best deals anywhere.
Just gonna draw through the entire deck. We're gonna get another one.
Yeah, this is. I like the killing the poisonous minion, of course, but Efsirachi has the ability to draw a lot of cards this turn if he would like to. He's gonna draw at least 2 of them. Oh, the Heist Baron Togwaggle pickup, and things are looking pretty dire for Mayanadon right now. No immediate answer to anything on board. He's probably going to have to just Dragon Queen next turn and hope that it gives him, Nazari or something along those lines to keep this game going.
Yeah. So, Heist Baron's interesting with double Auctioneer, right? Because what you really don't want to do...
You don't want to mill yourself. You
draw and then draw.
Yes. Don't want to mill, don't want to overdraw. You've already got Galakron in hand. I know it's only been invoked 1 time, but you've got options to draw. Wow. That's that's not a helpful pickup there for Mayanadon.
Let's see what's if you don't find Deathwing, I think you just scoop him up.
Oop, Mirazond.
Oh.
What it do?
It's gonna make a Edwin and a 3/9. Oh, it's a little Edwin and just
gets the lackey. The Dragon Queen box was not as fun as the Yogg box is, and that will result in a game 4 here as Efsirachi tries to claw his way back into the series. Now it's down. It's a 2-1 lead for Mayanadon.
That was really well played by Itachi. I thought the early games, especially, with the just kind of really showing knowledge of the deck there, with like the early coin, getting that early secret out, playing your shadow step, getting that, and then holding for that more value later was really, really well done. So.
Oh my goodness. We were transitioned to the. I transitioned to the wrong screen, and then I transitioned to the game screen at the end of that game. So I think that whole thing was a radio broadcast.
I had just came back to it too. Well, it's a great picture of you and the kid, and then that picture of drew.
Man, if only everybody got to see that really exciting game that we just witnessed.
Yeah, it was great.
Victory for the
All right, I can confirm we are in the correct screens this time, so everyone's going to see this Demon Hunter attempt to get a win here for the third time versus this same Hunter, which is a Highlander Hunter. Again, we'll explain again for those who didn't see it.
Which would be everybody.
Which would be everybody but the two of us. Hopping is hard.
Demons? Oh yeah, I don't do it. Oh, I appreciate everything you do. I'll be honest with you. Like that is not easy to do. So thank you, and I'm laughing with you, not at you.
Oh man, I apologize to everybody for that. That was not my finest moment as a stream up, though. We will try to do better going forward here.
Yeah, it's first game of the season, first match of the season. It's gonna happen. I gotta
get all these kinks out. From all the stream hopping I haven't been doing in the past 2 weeks for the March Madness tournament and whatnot.
Shh, some of them don't know that. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they were moving as well.
Itachi opts to play the Umberwing here instead of the Crimson Sigil Runner. That's now not going to be an outcast card. Do you like that play? Or is there too much? Am I putting too much emphasis on getting the draw out of the Sigil Runner?
I don't think so. I think that's kind of the point, right? And now it is actually just dead because the second Umberwing. I mean,
either that or you dig it out from the other side of your hand, which is possible, but not now. We're talking several turns from now when you're looking for hopefully some more draw. But at the same time, yeah, I think for me, it's a 2-1. Obviously, it's a poorly statted minion later, like past turn 2, essentially. And he's gonna go ahead and play the second Umberwing and get the value out of it.
May have been a accidental not playing it last turn.
I mean, I guess you can always right to the face. Busts out of dormancy and goes and seeks the dome. And Zixor Prime is now huge and in hand for Mayanadon. So that's how this deck works with Scavenger's Ingenuity. You just got the one beast in the deck, and that beast is Zixor.
Yeah, and Felmon knowing where the place is.
Yeah, the Felmaw, I was going to say, not an easy clear unless the Glavebound Adept is in hand for Itachi, which we saw that it was. And Mayanadon, sad that, of course, his 5-4 that he worked so hard over these last 3 turns to cultivate, broke out of the chains and just got immediately glaved. But the Diving Griffin is a good answer to that Glavebound Adept.
Yeah, there is no complaints there. And Varanus not real great except for the fact that it's got a bunch of stats, because making 1/1s 1/1 is not always what you want to do.
I mean, I think if you're Mayanadon here, you're just trying all you can to stay alive till turn 8. You drop Zixor Prime, and I think this game basically is over at that point, because you're looking at 7/7 that's going to get duplicated 3 times. So he's going to have 4 7/7s on board, and unless Itachi goes absolutely ham with an Altruist, those things do not die. So Mayanadon just needs to live. Kill Command can be used as removal Frozen Shadow Weaver is fantastic pickup here.
I'm sorry, I had the stream up and Isocles with quote, the stream will see me hover over
Oh.
unquote. You could have gotten away with it, Donde.
So, like, okay, so we talked at the top about how I am no longer a Hearthstone enthusiast after the last 24 hours. I think I might just need to stop everything associated with Hearthstone, including stream hopping, because clearly right now I am not in the right spot with this at all.
It's all out of love. The hard part is that having the stream up and have it being behind is like super distracting. So like I'll pop it up to make sure that like nothing is wrong, and then I'll minimize it again and end up just missing a bunch of stuff.
Oh yeah, I don't even have the actual stream proper up. Like I'm in it, you know, but I don't have it up. I have OBS up, and I run OBS in studio mode, so it shows two screens. It shows the current screen, which is on the right, and the preview of what I want the next screen to be on the left. And I had those flipped. So I had the preview of what I wanted the next screen to be as I thought was the program,
Nice.
and that's what happened. So,
Nothing but a bunch of big birds!
Is it cold in the shadows?
Oh, I missed that play. I was in chat.
Do you see what must be done?
well, he played the animal companion. He got always Huffer. Of course, it's Huffer, and
Huffer.
then
It's
you always Huffer, and then use the Frozen Shadow Weaver as well. But Altruis is about to make short work of Mayanadon's board, and that is, I guess, okay, because I don't think he's going to die this turn, and Zixor is going to be able to soak up quite a bit next turn.
Unleash foul!
I beam to heal, and still a lot of damage.
Dino for Trek's Adventures, Dino Dan and Dino Dana. Explaining to Sarah the intricacies of Canadian dinosaur shows.
Zixor, the board clear.
Love that.
So now this is, what, 6, 11, 17 damage, or health on board, I should say, that can absorb any priestess. We're gonna see an I-beam. That'll clear off a 7-3. And Efsarachi's sending everything home, or is that just enough? I haven't even been doing the math on this. It's just lethal with the 1-1 on board, yeah. Never mind, don't even have to leave it up to chance for Priestess. Exact lethal with the Glaive Bound Adept, and Efsarachi evens the series up to go to game 5.
So Illy Dilly found the wins.
So he did. It did take him 3 games to get there, but as we know, Illidan has a chance in almost any matchup and does get through the Highlander Hunter. So now this Highlander Hunter is going to give us our wish and get to see exactly what Druid Efsarachi brought as we go to game 5 here. Well, he's a Treant on his face, so is he bringing the Treant Spell Druid?
Victory for the Forsaken.
See, a Mount Seller. A Glowfly Storm. It's definitely a Spell Druid.
I
of some
like
kind.
this entire hand.
Ah, man, Bran is. I mean, it's less of a risky keep when you have the opening hand that Mayanadon has in the other 3 cards. But
You full keep this. You full keep this. You're not getting anything better than Bran. You have your 1 and your hero power, or you can ramp if you need to, which you probably won't on 2. And then you have Zixor on 3. You're not gonna find it. Your Gusty Curve's gonna show up in those 3 turns. You hold on to Bran because face is the play. Send Crush smashing in on turn 7. Yeah, keep it, Mayanadon.
well, he's considering. So he just goes ahead and throws away. What did he throw away? He threw away the 3-drop, the Zixor. Interesting. I guess it's not as valuable in this matchup since you have to kill something, have it come back, and then be able to redraw it again. and odds are that it won't die in one go against any sort of token that F-Sriracha is going to play. Unleash the Hounds is an interesting pickup here too, because that can definitely be a counter lethal on a wide board if F-Sriracha is not careful. And we're going to see Wild Growth out of Zephyrus, a good curve. He's going to, so I think that's that's why you kick that 3-drop back, is you know that you're just going to Zephyrus on 2 and get a Wild Growth out of the deal here.
Yep, if you're playing on Zephyrus, you definitely throw Zixor back, right? And the hand definitely played out exactly with the Bran and then the Alexstrasza. Like, that's definitely Wild Growth is play.
And that's one way to keep pace with the Druid in terms of ramp. And F-Sriracha on 4, no overgrowth. You become the Druid.
You know, you play Secret Warlock, you play Druid Hunter. You know, up is down, left is right. Do you play the Dragon Bane coin out hero power? Send that 5 face? Yeah. Oh, he wants to get Bran out next turn. Okay, I like that. Okay.
Yeah, Glowfly Swarm seems like the option here, and it will be. It's only 5 minions, but still.
And then you're going to see King Crush. King Crush things. I don't imagine we're going to see an 8-8 trading into a 2-2. One trade is smart. How big we're going to get these? Big. That is the answer. Big.
Yeah.
My daughter just came down. She did not scare me tonight, unlike last time. But she noticed that one of our cats had a bit of an upset tummy on the floor, and now she's explaining how that whole process works to me. So I apologize. This slight distraction.
No, I mean, hey, you know, it's science, right? It's nature.
It really, she made the most adorable, disgusted face out of it too. So I apologize for the absolute distraction, but hey, at least the stream is showing the match, so that's the upshot here.
I agree. And this would be a real unfortunate range, but I don't know if you want to take. I think you take that Alexstrasza though, a Dragon Queen one, or you take a Nixia.
Think he will.
I guess you. I don't know if I really. I mean, isn't 2 free dragons better than a board full of 1/1? I don't know. I'm asking that because I don't honestly don't know. But
I'm sorry. What was the question?
If 2 free dragons is better than a Hello Mukla, how are you? Better than a board full of 1/1.
I mean, I guess at this point we see it probably doesn't rightly matter. But I would say probably, I think you're right that a 2 free dragons is probably slightly higher as far as quality to me. But man, this game is getting out of hand quick. F-Sriracha's got nothing in hand, but I don't know if it matters at this point, because what do you have as an answer for Mayanadon? It's probably Unleash the Hounds plus Kill Command here. I mean, he can put a dent in this board, but the wrong top deck for F-Sriracha could just end this game anyway. Even like a Savage Roar, Gift of the Wild is probably just enough. I'm looking at what are we gonna kill here? Gonna kill the Mukla.
To kill the king.
We can get rid of
then
another
4/2 and then a 2/1.
4/2 and the 2/1. Yep. So that will leave 9 damage on board.
I mean, and this is when, I mean, maybe a Nixia lives to play.
It's possible, but Oh, overflow.
Oh, never mind. It doesn't
Well,
matter.
now, so here's the question: do you use it, knowing that? I mean, yeah, if you're gonna use it, you're gonna hit in first. I think it's the right play. I think it's the right play. And we see Moonfire. That can be played. Innervate as well. There are cards that are playable right now to repop this board. It's Zixor.
Desert hair showing. Oh, hello, Zixor.
He said, you know what? Mayanadon might have thrown you back, but I'm going to play you anyway.
This is what you get.
Tiamat an option, but Dragon Queen is probably what you got to do. Tiamat only really delays the inevitable. And, oh, Gray's another wing!
There you go.
That is a pickup right there. And Ysera Unleashed. Wow. Mayanadon really kind of just made something out of nothing here. And I think that speaks to the discussion we had earlier about the power of the possibility of 2 free dragons versus 6 1/1s. And I think that goes to show right there that that would have been, I think, maybe why don't you want to play that again next turn here?
Yeah. I can see what he was thinking, right? It was because he just wanted to make sure that
What was I thinking of again?
clear the board up, but those are good cards. Drawing your entire deck is just a good thing.
And he finds the Savage Roar.
Probably not this turn. Well, you know what? This turn you could clear the 8/8.
Instead, he will fungal. Well, you can't do it this turn anyway because he didn't have enough mana. But Bog
Savage
Beam.
Roar?
You know.
The Savage Roar with the Perfect Dr. Mount Seller and face, right? And I suppose you don't want to do that, but it was an option.
Well, the Bog Beam allows Yserachi to take enough of the edge off the board that he's not basically an immediate threat of dying. I mean, he is at nearly full health. Diving Griffin's quite the pickup here from Mayanadon. What other rush minion does he have in there? Well, he's got Zixor, obviously. He's going to draw Zixor.
Yep.
So we're going to see Tiamat, and shockingly, it feels like Mayanadon might have turned the corner in this match.
I think Mayanadon's probably wishing he had a second Dragon Queen Alexstrasza.
I'm wishing that we get to see a second Dragon Queen Alexstrasza because that was exciting.
That was exciting. That's a fun card,
But who
right?
will think of the Malagoses?
Who will think of the Malagos? Well, I will. Don't worry.
As will Brushy Tuna. Shout out to Brushy Tuna.
Yes, as will Brushy. I agree. You kill that 2/1. It feels weird, right? But you have to do it.
Oh, without a doubt. The only way you lose this match is if you let Yserachi reestablish board and you don't, take care of it that next turn. And there's just no chance. I mean, you're eventually going to run him out of resources because the quality of your draws are just that much higher at this point. But Forest Aid is free thanks to Kael'thas. Not a bad card.
Yeah. You know what's really good is 5 free 2/2.
And here we are again, wondering, what does Mayanadon have? We said he turned the corner, and it feels like maybe Yserachi just shoved him right back around the corner. Couple Dream Portals.
For a rush.
On.
For something with rush.
Well, he's got Zixor, but he can use Zixor to clear off one of these 2/2s, but that's still 8 damage plus the Savage Roar. And that's it.
Game.
Yserachi's going to get there. So we see
Wow.
a reverse sweep.
Wow. I'm gonna be honest, that was a lot of fun and quite unexpected. I thought Mayanadon was gonna go ahead and
a series that we after those first 2 games, Mayanadon's cruising. You just felt like that was going to be it. And Yserachi never say die. Comes back, gets a 3-2 win, and Chaos Theory ends up picking up now 20 points this week.
That is a 5-game match sweep.
Yeah, 20 plus the 3 bonus, 23 points. That is against a team of DadLegend's quality. Like that's just announcing your presence If
Yeah.
anybody was sleeping on Chaos Theory before the season, I think that they've perked a few ears up, so to speak, to the quality of their players here. So big win. Good job by Srirachi. As we talked about too at the start, F. Srirachi has been ascending in seed from 5 now to 3, and he's proven that he can play anywhere. I think in THL he can just play at any seed.
Yeah, congratulations. That was a heck of a win, heck of a match, and way to stay in it really there too, because it did not go well the first 2 games. It's so easy to get tilted after those first 2 and be like, well, that's that, But just kind of staying in it and just getting one game at a time. Every point matters. So congratulations.
Yeah. It's yep. That's why you play them all, and I mean, especially in a format like this where every point is important. You don't want to, like people play Masters Cups and whatnot, and you get down early and you play, all right, I'm going to play my bad matchup just because if I lose, I lose, whatever. I don't, bother to play an extra game. But here in THL, you want to play every best matchup you possibly have to try and get as many points as possible. And I found it interesting that he didn't queue up the Spell Druid sooner because it's such a good matchup there against the Highlander Hunter, but it seemed to still work out for him.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking when he didn't queue it up, it must have been something other than Spell Druid, but he fooled us all.
Yes, well done.
So why don't we let's shift gears here and talk about our second match, which is again, of course, another Conquest match. It's another Legacy match, Itachi versus A2 Battleship. So we talked about this one briefly at the top. Pretty similar lineup. Itachi is Demon Hunter, Hunter, Rogue, Warlock. And F. Srirachi is Demon Hunter, Hunter, Rogue, Warrior. So the same as Mayanadon's lineup from this last match. And we're seeing only a few classes tonight. We're not seeing Mage, we're not seeing Priest. But we can let these guys know that they're ready to get their bands on. But what do you think is going to be the result of that, Dano?
I learned a long time ago, and by a long time ago, I meant like 2 seasons ago, that you just always pick Itachi. That's just usually the safe pick. And that's nothing against A2 Battleship. But I like Itachi to have done his research and kind of know exactly what he wants to do going into it. The Warlock bring is probably almost certainly Zoo, right? So, but it could be Control, Galakron, Warlock. It's still definitely playable.
Yeah. I've found that Galakron Warlock, I know a lot of people are really down on it, and it's for good reason. Sack Pact, great card when it could hit your opponent or your opponent's minions. Very, very good in the early game against Demon Hunter, lets you kind of establish footing, and you can't do that anymore. So that is definitely a loss for the card, and that to me does not kill the deck. However, I still feel like it's playable, and it's still very winnable if you know how to negotiate the matchups. But it did take some hits in the non-Demon Hunter arena as well, which did kind of make it less popular of a bring in this opening week of THL.
And then with Zoo, you can just bring 2 Keliseths, and that is a good thing to do. Is just I remember Prince Keliseth being a good card, and so if I can play 2 of them, I'm gonna do that. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly which way Itachi will go with it. I imagine the only question we'll really have for A2 battles, which brand of Hunter are we going to see? Everything else will probably be fairly. Though Rogue, which way are we going to see it go? Is it going to be Silence or not? But I'm not Silence. Sorry. Forgetting the word now. Stealth or not? But I think A2 Battleship pretty standard list for sure. If I were to guess, just kind of looking at the brings there. Warlock is certainly interesting and should be lots of fun to kind of see what it is. So.
Well, I've let these players know they're ready to go ahead and challenge up, get the bands in, and in the meantime, just I guess while we're waiting for them to do that, any other matches around? We'll stick with talking about Legacy since we are on a Legacy-centric stream tonight. Any other matches in Legacy that have kind of stood out to you as either shockers or just strong performances in week 1 here?
I am going to call out a certain team, a Noyo team, with
of course.
2 wins and then a 5-game match to start the season off, and then chance to finish them off tomorrow. So congratulations to my Noyo team for not picking up where we left off last season, which was just lots of losing, and trying to win some games this season. So, so I'm really excited about that.
Oh yeah.
We haven't taken care of business yet, but yeah, we'll see. I still have to win in the 2 seed, so yeah, it'll be fun.
Winning is rarely bad, so it always is a good feeling to get that first one under your belt to start the season off on the right foot. And I guess that, we talked about this earlier. The important thing, I suppose, is to know that it is a long season. Week 1 is just that. It's week 1. You put up some points. You don't win necessarily. Half the teams are going to lose. That's just how math works. I'm a math guy. Don't ask Coles. He'll say I'm not. But that means that there's going to be a lot of disappointment this week for a lot of teams, and they just got to kind of pick up. Week 2. Dust yourself off, and know that week 1 doesn't define your team for the entire season. So if you lose maybe the first 4 weeks of the season, might be a different case. But just 1 week is not a bad scenario. Despite how bad it feels to not start off with a W, it's all right. It's not over yet for you guys. So
yeah, our first season, no team's first season was, I think we lost like the first 3 or 4 weeks in. And then just went on a tear at the end. It's like, that's the cool thing about this format, is you do get to play everybody in your conference. And getting off to a slow start, you can kind of fix that. It happened, what was it, last season as well with I'm blanking on the team. Another team did the same thing where they won like 5 weeks in a row and just got into the playoffs. So we have a dinosaur zoo going on in our living room right now.
Oh yeah.
So
that's where I'd want to be.
Dinosaur World. Sorry, I was incorrect. Dinosaur World is in our living room.
Dinosaur World sounds like the not name brand version of Jurassic Park.
Yeah, a lot less raptors running around.
like how they made back in the 90s, there were those movies that were like Scary Movie or like Funny Movie, they were parody movies of the certain genres. Yeah, I feel like Dinosaur World is like the parody movie of Jurassic Park.
And which I would watch, actually. I would love to see a parody of Jurassic Park. That sounds wonderful.
So we do have the bands in.
Okay.
So Itachi has said no Illidan for you, and A2 will have his Demon Hunter band. And A2 has said yes Illidan for you, but no Hunter. So a Hunter gets banned in both cases here. Just one of them happens to be the Demon variety.
Yes, so I like it. Which makes me wonder, is A2 Battleship then bringing Highlander Hunter, right? And it is banning the Hunter because of the worry of the Hunter mirror. We saw that a lot last season when we had, when Hunter was so powerful. We saw lots of Hunter bans because if you weren't bringing the fastest Hunter deck, then you lost the Hunter mirror.
That is certainly possible.
Hunter.
Well, let's go ahead and get those bands up on screen here just so everyone sees them, and then I will let the players know that they're ready to go.
I am very excited about this match, though. I'm definitely excited about that Hunter band. It's got me kind of wondering. I didn't expect that. Not the only Hunter band, though. There's been a couple other ones, so.
Yeah, it seems like Hunter is a reasonable band pick in this meta. We saw Double Warrior ban in the first match. Mainly off of Itachi said A2 needed to take a quick pre-match break. So we're going to be delayed here another minute or so. But yeah, I think the strength of Egg Warrior has got a lot of people really worried about, how that deck is. It can be tough to beat. It gets rolling. It can outlast if you get those crazy Armor Smith turns plus Risky Skipper. You can just go ahead and put yourself out of range for any aggro deck. Terran Gorfine can give you some crazy boards, especially if you hit a couple bombs. Like, it's got a lot of versatile lines to win.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely I think warrior ban is definitely something that I'm not at all surprised by. I think warrior is always really good, and I think that it is definitely it's just versatility right now against like across the board. It just makes it a really strong bring, right? Um, I'm looking at the band selections actually. So there it is. So Demon Hunter, obviously the most banned class at 16 right now, and the warrior at 7. So here in the gold conference. So yeah,
It looks like they're jumping in here, so we will jump in.
great.
Itachi will be on the bottom. A2 will be on the top. We're going to see Rogue versus Warrior at the top here. Or, not the top, but Warrior at the top. Rogue at the bottom for Itachi.
None can escape my fury.
And it is the Egg Warrior. And Itachi with a rapid mulligan here. We saw Cartoon Defender real quick and Escape Mana Saber. Dragon Sword, this must be Highlander Hunter. Or Rogue. I keep saying the wrong class with the correct archetype.
I like it. I think that's the way to do it, really.
You know, it's funny because like I keep talking about it's been about Rogue every time. I think I'm so mad at Rogue right now that I don't even want to recognize it as a class. Like,
which, by the way, which is where I always am with Rogue. I just refuse to recognize it as a class. And most definitely is going to be Highlander, right, with that Cartoot and then the Dragon Sword. Can't imagine it's... Oh, no.
Wow, okay,
not.
so there's 2 Cartoon Defenders. No, there's not. No, this one was from the Pharaoh Cat.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's tricky.
Like, well, I'm not...
that is tricky. He was hovering over Spy Mistress for quite some time, deciding whether or not to play it. So long so that I thought my game had glitched and I was hovering over Spy Mistress. And I was like, well, if I make another mistake on stream, then that's going to look real bad. So I should probably check my mouse. No, it was not, you know. Oh my god, I forgot to transition the screen. Alright, so everyone's jumping in on here on turn 4.
Oh no.
Don't worry about it. I got you guys.
As
I got
planned.
you guys. As planned. You guys didn't want to see the early boring turns anyway. There wasn't really a whole lot going on. Wormall Challenger does come down. And now, well, Elysian Lighten looks like a very interesting pick here.
Yeah.
As it definitely fits into the theory of this deck. But Madame Lazul.
Oh.
The future is
I was thinking you get double crops, right? Which is just crazy. Huh. Oh well.
Yeah, I think the thought process here for Itachi is most likely, you know, in order for to get that value, I'd probably have to have this game go quite some time. Rogue tends to have not hand space issues, but you got to negotiate around. You draw a lot of free cards between Heist Baron, Togwaggle, and Galakron. So if you're duplicating your hand, odds are you're never really going to get rid of a lot of that, especially the high cost stuff he's got in his hand right now. So I think that it seems like he was mainly kind of, you know, thinking I'll grab the card that I can play earlier, and that'll allow me to manage my hand better in the long run.
Yep. I feel that. I think it's probably definitely the right pick, and with the risky skipper, must be thinking of it as kind of like pseudo board clear then. And here, deal with this 3/7.
I will act as your scapegoat.
Galakron in hand, so imagine looking for one more invoke and then just gonna go ahead and drop that. Hoping to find one on curve here, I would imagine. Because we know with Highlander Rogue, you're not going to get a fully invoked Galakron, so just getting anything.
And also the second bomb in the deck also shuts off a lot of the Highlander elements now, without drawing a bomb, of course. You know, it's kind of interesting. I've seen Wrench Caliber in a few of these lineups for the Egg Warrior, with rather than maybe using the Livewire Lance here. But
yep.
Yeah, this is a lot of bombs really quick into the deck here, and A2's got a large Warmaul Challenger that I don't know how much spot removal Itachi's going to have.
Yeah, I think the only removal right now appears to be a Risky Skipper, which I don't think you want to play right now.
No.
Oh, sorry, Dean.
Flick! There's the spot removal we were talking about.
That's what you want to see. Do you play the Risky Skipper here? I think you just go ahead and flick that Armor Smith.
Well,
or you flick the
I don't think...
6/5.
Yeah, I was say you got to flick the 6/5 here. That thing's going to just eat you alive over the next few turns. I would imagine the debate here is whether or not he wants to go ahead and kill the Risky Skipper in addition, A2's Risky Skipper in addition to the Warmaul Challenger, which it looks like he does. I like that. You know, it stops him from having any more crazy armor gain, at least immediately. But oh, what a pickup! The Blastmaster Boom. There's 3 bombs in the deck, so it's going to get a full value.
Bomb, 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 bomb.
Just wondering if he thought about maybe getting rid of the Armor Smith to get an extra bomb. I don't think it's necessary.
No.
Yeah, 1 extra bomb. Oh, bomb. Speaking of bombs, we're talking about bombs a lot. Itachi draws 1, and he's 5 damage closer to being dead.
Yeah, that's how that works. Try and offer some more. The hard part of playing these Highlander decks against a Bomb Warrior, right, is that you want to draw the bombs, but at the same time, you don't want to draw those bombs.
And every one he draws, it doesn't seem to matter because A2 just keeps putting more and more in the deck. So I think at this point you obviously have learned to accept that you don't get the Highlander elements of your deck anymore. And even this Wondrous Wand is dangerous because he could just draw himself right into death.
Yep.
Like, you know, it's what, four bombs in the deck, 4 out of 23, 22 after the initial draw here, which is not a bomb. So
Go ahead and wand into that bomb.
Yeah, three draws here. It's essentially a 20%, 20 to 25% chance of drawing a single bomb.
Oh, not dead. Oh, not dead. Whoa, look at
Ooh.
that.
Somehow, I guess, you know, you felt like that's my only choice.
Yeah.
I don't
Think
win
these,
without it.
These boom bots don't care about that card too, though. You just crash one in and it can go to your face. So
It still can. I think you still have to play it here.
Oh, 100%, right? You definitely still play it, but helpfulness.
And of course, you're going to put down everything you can to try to soak up as much as possible.
And what?
Grom is another card, by the way.
Smart move.
Yeah. So
which had the whole time, and we could have probably just could have looked at his hand and realized.
I mean, yeah. We're, you know, it's so much stuff happening. I'm stream mopping over here. I'm making sure everyone gets to see the game.
if I'm along for the smart Hearthstone talk, we are in serious trouble.
Did I not make that clear to you that was your role?
I only goof. I goof about Hearthstone and I play goofy decks.
Well, that's something we're gonna have to discuss after the stream is over, I believe.
I look forward to watching this next Saturday when you have a far better prepared player in the seat next to you.
All right, let's see what's in the deck here. It's going to be a Zoo Warlock versus a Face Hunter. As Toxic Reinforcements basically only has a home in Face Hunter. And Itachi's got a pretty strong start here. Magic Carpet plus a lot of 1-drops.
The deck does one thing.
Well, I tell you what, this game is going to be over fast. One way or the other.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yes.
No, nobody's here to play the long game. Everyone is just like, we're gonna hit the face with everything we got, and I think actually Zoo tends to be slightly better in this matchup.
The light protects me.
Yeah, because it's kind of these aggro matchups are oftentimes like almost board control matchups, right? If you can control the board. Now this hunter doesn't give a hoot about the board,
No, not at all.
so I have no idea how this match looks. I can look it up. I have the internet here actually.
Do you? That's an impressive pull.
I know. So what it is, it's this magic box that I have, and I can actually type things into this input device. We call it keyboard, and then I can discover things that I did not know.
That's revolutionary, man.
I know. I think it's going to be a big deal in a few years.
I gotta get me one of those. Meanwhile, A2 drops an imprisoned Felmaw, and now he's tracking with Arcane Shot tracking and Dwarven Sharpshooter as the options. He's gonna take that Arcane Shot, which I like that pick here.
Yep.
Gets in the hero power to continue to progress the toxic reinforcements, and now it's Magic Carpet time. And Itachi, if that Magic Carpet lives, he's about to show A2 Battleship a whole new world in turn 4. And again with the Felmaw right to face.
So this is favored for the hunter. So favorably. Actually.
So don't listen to me in regards to the meta, because I was clearly wrong.
I think it's just the zoo just doesn't. It just all face hunter wants to do is go face, right? So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Useful things.
And here comes all the rush minions, as Itachi can play 4 of them if he wants to.
Which I imagine probably will.
I mean, if he flame imps, he can take out the 5/4, and he can take out the 2/3 with the 3/1 here. Yep. I like that. You give you don't give the plus damage to the incoming other minions.
Yep.
Go ahead and give that taunt a little bit more beef in the flame imp. And geez, this is a big board real fast. And I know, Itachi's taken a lot of damage so far in just 4 turns, but the board, the way he's established here, is setting him up to be in pretty decent shape.
And Battleship showing they know where face is, what it is. It's
truly a race.
And Akiliseth is going to be a little late, I think. That's just lethal on board. Right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10.
So the question becomes, Itachi obviously knows he's facing that on board, and plus the hero powers. He's got a life tap here to see what he can get.
Yep.
And Evil Genius, I don't know what he's gonna get for an out, but he's gonna try. Yeah. What's the lackey? A witchy lackey. Is there something
witchy lackey, which does exist apparently?
I was wondering if there was any way he could probably evolve something into like a Sandhoof Water Bearer to heal himself up, but yeah, that's not. That's 5 mana. He had nothing that was 4 on board, so there was nothing that would allow him to escape the onslaught of Face Hunter. And just like we saw in Series 1, A2 takes a quick 2-0 lead, but as we saw in Game 1 or Series 1, that doesn't always mean that you're safe.
Doesn't. Why you play the games, like my dad always said, when it comes to like sports and such. Why they play the game? True, is why they play the game.
Yeah, everything can't be decided. If everything was decided in prep and off the proverbial tavern, I think a lot of these series would go very differently. But this is RNG is an element. People can overcome these bad matchups. It is a definite possibility. We're gonna see if Itachi can pull it off the Zoo Warlock against a rogue of. Well, it's on Highlander. It's 2 Seal Fates in hand right now.
So I just 1 Seal Fate and 1 Seal Face then. No, they're both going to be Seal Fates because that's a Warlock and it's going to be tapping onto.
Yeah, board control tools. He does toss one of the Seal Fates back. Ends up with a Pharaoh Cat, so an improvement. Blazing Battle Mage, easy turn 1 for Itachi. Pharaoh Cat, yeah, it's a Bone Wraith. That's a good pull.
That is a good card. When
It's
you're
a very
trying
good
not
card.
to- do you take the value trade here, or do you just trust to the Voidwalker? Or do you take the trade?
Job's done.
He does tap, as you mentioned, on 2. He's going to tap to get a little bit more juice in the hand. And A2 is now going to coin out that evil miscreant and provide himself with 2 lackeys. 1 witchy, 1 of the rush lackeys. Goblin lackey, that's his name.
It's Spell Lackey, Evolve Lackey, Rush Lackey, Shooty Lackey, Dragon Lackey. Not sure what these things you're calling them are, but that is that's what I know them as.
It's basically like the Spice Girls, but lackeys.
Yes, exactly.
Praise Galakron. Praise it twice, why not? Once is good, twice is better. All the lackeys in the world. There's a kobold lackey. That's damage lackey for those playing along at home. If you wanted to test your own knowledge of the true lackey names.
I mean, I'm always interested people know the actual lackey names. I never even attempted to learn them. Like I'll try to learn some of the cars' names. I know it's the appropriate and right thing to do. I never try to learn the lackey names. That was just way too complicated.
I wonder.
Thinking about playing that Kelisteth.
There he is, Prison Scrap Imp. And Expired Merchant will get rid of one of those matrons. So that, I guess you don't mind so much. You prefer for it to be the Hand of Gul'dan. But having extra rush minions in this matchup might not be a terrible thing down the road.
Yep. Though they do kind of discard themselves.
Yes, that is not a positive thing. I guess ultimately you get 2 back. Really, it's like you played the 2-1 for free, I suppose.
Yep.
And interestingly, A2 is actually kind of turning the the board onto Itachi and becoming the aggressive deck.
And if you could control a board against Zoo, you're just feeling so good, right? Like you're just that's awesome.
Yeah, as expected there, we're going to see the Nightshade Matron. It'll clear off 1 minion, but now there's still the matter of the other 5 on board for A2, and he doesn't have a whole lot that he needs to do here. He's going to go ahead and just shield the Galakron up, clear off this 5-2, and continue to put the pressure on Itachi. And he's going to get the Scrap Imp to go off this turn, make some slightly bigger dudes in hand, but we're still 1 turn away from any of them being able to actually attack outside of the Nightshade Matron, and it could just be over by then.
Yeah, I suppose you're... You got to play your Voidwalker for sure, right? So...
Well, I think you want to probably dump as much hand as possible. So yeah, we're probably seeing every 1-drop come out, which is unfortunate because Flame Imp is, you know, another 3 damage to your own face. But this is the payoff. You Scrap Imp to get, you know, a reasonably sized board with cheap minions. But this is also the drawback of those Flame Imps. They hurt you too. And Blackjack Stunner with the secret and the seal. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you know what? That's a nice taunt you had there. How would you like to have it back, but have it cost more?
Cost more and be less effective. It will only be a 1-3 again, of course. And A2 quickly making quick work of that board. And he leaves up a 3-3, a 2-5, and a 3-3 and says, you know what, I don't really care. I'm going to send it to face. And I've also got a secret you don't know. It could be a bamboozle. We know it's a dirty tricks. Itachi taps, and that's it.
Yep. And
so unlike our first series, that one ended in quick fashion.
In my head, I felt like we had 2 more. Wow, I did not see that coming.
Yeah, that was
A2 Battleship on that sweep.
Yeah,
that
was it. So ATL goes from 8-4 to a 12-4 lead. Essentially, they've got this locked up if they can pull off 1 more game win over the next two matches. So yeah, we're gonna get A2 in here for an interview. And wow, I mean, usually like to have more material than that for an interview, but we'll see if we can scrounge together. There was maybe like 14 turns across 3 games. That was a 25-minute series.
Yeah, that was quick, which I appreciate. So I haven't really bedtime, so I'm kidding. I don't actually. My mommy lets me stay up as late as I want. So
That's always nice. Just waiting for A2 to accept the friend request, then we'll get him in here.
Now my favorite part of the show, going and looking at chat.
Yeah, see what if you look at chat right now, you're looking 2 games behind. Hey A2, welcome to the winner's circle.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I thought that would take longer.
So did we. Yeah. Well, we were talking about, I don't know if you watched the first series of the night, but Mayanadon got up to a quick 2-0 lead, and then we watched F-Srirachi claw back over the course of the next 45 minutes to win it 3-2. And we're wondering, was there a chance that might happen to you? You shut that down real quick in that final game. So congratulations. ATL hasn't officially won yet, but you got it all but locked up with 1 more game win. So nice start to the season for you guys.
Oh yeah, it's been great.
So now this is your first Legacy season. You played Pro last season, and obviously this is closed list versus the open list that you're used to. So was there any real change in mindset for you this week over the way you prepped last season to start off this one?
So, not really, actually. The one difference is that you're not given the opportunity to kind of counter their decks or to know specifically what they're going to bring. And that actually was a bit of it worked to my benefit a little bit, but it also was a problem for me because I went in just assuming that Itachi was going to bring straight up Secret Rogue, Secret Galcron Rogue, no Highlander shenanigans. And once you start seeing them play cards that aren't in lists that you see, then you start figuring out more from then on. And if I were to say lose that first game, I would actually probably be much better off than I would have been in a pro series, because I don't have to. I'm good at discovering things about decks in a ladder scenario, or because I'm fluent in meta analysis and that kind of thing, but I'm not.
Did we lose you? I think A2 got raptured right in the middle of his thought. we did lose him. He bounced back in real quick.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you again. Yeah, you just cut right off mid-word.
So my thing is that the difference is being able to play a deck without knowing what the opponent's bringing, rather than play a deck, you've locked in that deck, and you just keep going with that deck. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm playing you, Donde, in Pro Series today.
Tomorrow, yes.
Tomorrow.
We can play today if you want. I mean...
No. No, that's fine. But the problem is that if I have not teched correctly for what decks you're bringing, I'm kind of screwed. But if I see he's bringing Warlock, there's a...
Oh.
The dang internet got him again.
Yeah, a few kinks to get out there, the internet.
You guys up in that northern Midwest?
I'm not in the northern Midwest right now. I'm actually in the southeast.
What are you doing down there?
I am in the northern Midwest.
That's it's where I'm from originally. I was just in the northern Midwest for college, but that's been
that's not a thing right now in this this post Corona world we live in.
Yeah.
I think it's just Corona world. Actually, I don't think we've reached post Corona.
Post the initiation of the coronavirus entering into our society.
Sure.
Post outbreak.
Yes, post outbreak. We're hoping it'd be like a short-lived thing, but this might be the long haul.
Yeah.
Plenty of time
That's
for
the
Hearthstone in that case, though, so that's good.
Oh yeah, that's the one thing that's probably changed the most from season to season is that I haven't been doing schoolwork. I actually did have a lot of schoolwork right before I submitted. The Tuesday before submission deadlines was 2 different exams online. Um, but I got through them, and thankfully, both of my teams for closed deck lists and both my teams for open deck lists are efficient in saying, uh, "That's a good idea. That's not a good idea. Here's a better idea. You should submit that. I like your idea. You're good to go." Right? Because a part of me doesn't want me to bring a deck where uh, when people do the kind of thing where they're just like, "Oh, just bring what you're comfortable with, whatever," because that's like saying you're not you're just like suppressing your opinion just because you think that I'm overriding it with my comfort with this list, which usually I don't have much comfort with my list. I just like to experiment with slight changes to the list, and I'm fine with interchanging between them.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to switch gears sometimes when you're playing in one of the series that, like you said, open list versus closed list. But it seems like you're going to be right at home here in Legacy. I don't think you're going to have too much of a problem if that's the way you handle every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I wanted to be on stream, is that I was confident of my ability. And Itachi is one of those people who gets so much respect from the THL community. And right now, before this week, I was a 4-6 pro season player, and that's it. Other than that, I was in the duo series with Avi, and Avi just carries any small team thing that he's in, right? I could have not actually joined any of the games, and we probably still would have made top 4. So that's not saying much, right? But now I can separate myself from Avi as a person, and I want so that so now I don't have to breathe down his back at every turn, and 2, I can actually, so people can actually see me as like this individual from Avi that can perform in the right scenarios.
Well, I tell you what, I don't know if you watched Hearth Center on Wednesday, but I picked you as my comeback player of the season in Pro.
Really?
But I'm hoping you wait at least 1 week before you start that.
I mean that's kind of what happened at the end of Pro for me. I went like 1-4 or 0-4, and then into 4-6 or something like that. So I definitely tend to do the thing where I like to call it download complete, where I absolutely suck for like a few things, and then I'm like, oh, I understand now, and then I just start wiping the floor with everyone.
Well, I'll tell you what, it didn't go so hot for me last night, so it should be interesting. Since it went well for you this evening, you're definitely on the upswing, whereas I'm not. So, if you could take it easy on me, that'd be great. I'd really appreciate it.
Oh, so what I'm hearing is psychologically I need to bring you down farther. Is that?
That was not what I was going for at all, to be honest. No.
That's why you don't give more information to someone who's studying game theory.
Oh man, trust me, it's not gonna have an impact on my mental state tomorrow night. I assure you that. But yeah, we'll have some fun. So that'll be my last match of the week. So I don't know about you, but yeah, Sunday night usually the last match of the week.
My last match. Yeah, I scheduled it so I had 1 match a day, so I could
there you go.
separate all my time and just say this is what I'm doing.
I scheduled back-to-back matches so I could win one and then like roll into the second one on a high. Instead, I lost one and then tilted myself off the face of the planet in the second one. So.
Oh yeah. That's why you don't do that. You were going for the optimistic approach, but you need to go for the more realistic approach.
I very much was. I should have known.
Realistic being you losing, Donde.
No, realistic means that you do the win rate percentages. Let's say, given you win one, you always win the next, and if you lose one, you always lose the next. If you're more likely to win the second one than the first one, then you should never do that.
I think I was pretty even in the first one, so I guess it was probably, I guess, not the right call. It's funny you guys say this too, because like there's the hypothesis when you're bowling. I don't know if you guys bowl very much, but like if you're bowling in a match, Oh yeah, there you go. So if you bowl in your bowling, you alternate lanes with the team you're bowling against. If you see the person that you're playing against throw a split, you're not supposed to throw because you're like psychologically way more likely to throw a split. So you just let them finish. You're like, get rid of that. Don't put it on don't put it in my peripheral vision. Just finish up your split. So that's probably what I should just messaged Starlax, been like, yo man, I can't play tonight. I got nothing. And he would have been like, nah man, don't be a wimp, play me. And then he swept me anyway. So shout out to Starlax.
Yeah. Good job, Starlax.
But all right, well, anything you'd like to say before we head out, or Dano? Any other questions you have for A2?
No, that was fantastic. Thank you for the match and the great interview.
Oh, thank you. I want to say something right before I log off.
You got it, man.
I want people to know that I'm not just some guy who doesn't know what I'm doing. I'm new to THL, I'll give you that, but I've been playing this game since open beta. I know
Dang.
every single card that's been in the game. I play this game all the time because I had no friends in middle school or high school, and Hearthstone was my friend. So people should start putting me on more teams, I guess.
We don't have any more series. You're on a team in every series already.
You should have put me in March Madness, Donde.
Well, if we have March
Telling
Madness
you.
next year, we'll definitely, we'll announce ahead of time.
June, what's something that's madness but it starts with a J? June, jubilation, something like that.
There you go.
Well, we'll have something in the off season for sure. I've actually already floated ideas out there, and it should be fun. Which it won't have any sort of requirement to get into. It'll just be, you sign up and play. So everybody will be allowed to play in our upcoming off-season tournament. So stay tuned for details on that.
Yeah. Also the thing is that people have really been low on rating my teams because I'm so new. So I hope this tells you what you should be looking for. Based Inc. / Rebobson / Ron Mexico / everyone in the saloon
Man.
/ everyone in THL POW.
Calling them out. I love it. You're like a wrestler in the center of the ring right now.
That was what I was here for. I'm building a narrative.
I love it. Well, thanks for joining us in here, and thanks again for the match tonight. Congratulations once more.
Thank you. It's been an honor.
And Dano, thank you for being here tonight. Tell Dean we said thanks as well.
Yeah. That sound you heard towards the end was a Trollodon. So,
of course. No, still Dinosaur World,
very
right?
Smart dinosaur. Yep.
Oh yeah. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks to everybody watching out there at home. Hope you're still staying safe and enjoying your matches. Good luck if you have any the rest of the week. And we will see you here again next Saturday, of course. But make sure to stop on by tomorrow for our Sunday night stream. And we'll have 2 more matches for you. I'm trying to look those up on the fly here so I can say it with confidence what we're actually going to show you. And they are this. Lotus Knight nope, he's not. That's the wrong thing. Volkai versus Reverb. We only have one match, Sunday night, 8 p.m. Volkai versus Reverb. It is a first for THL. It is a wild match on stream. So come on down, support, especially if you have any interest or love for the wild community, which I know we got a lot of new players in here that do. So feel free to show us why this is like the hottest new thing in THL is the wild series. So check that out tomorrow night, and we will catch you next week. Good luck to everybody, and that's it. We out. Later, THL.
Good night.